Rated J. Para sa Overseas Filipino, mula sa kapwa Overseas Filipino. The views and opinions of the guests do not reflect the views and opinions of the hosts. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the hosts do not reflect the views and opinions of the show, the management of this page, and the affiliations of the hosts. Mula dito sa Singapore, welcome po muli sa isa na namang gabi ng makabuluhan at napapanahong talakayan. Ito po ang Weekends with Rated J, ang programang ginawa para sa mga overseas Filipino mula sa kapwa overseas Filipino. Inyo po itong napapanood ng live tuwing Sabado sa tulong na rin ng teknolohiya at ng social media. Magandang gabi po sa lahat ng mga nanonood dito sa Singapore. Magandang umaga sa kabilang banda, sa Canada, sa US at sa marami pang mga kababayan natin sa iba-ibang bahagi ng mundo. Magandang araw sa lahat ng viewer natin all over the world. Maraming salamat po sa inyong patuloy pa rin na pagtitiwala. Ako po si June Rigonan at sa ngalan po ni Dalcelin Zapata Pinlac, ako po ay bumabati sa inyo ng medyo maaga-agang maligayang Pasko po sa inyong lahat. Good evening sa inyong lahat. Magandang gabi sa ating mga kaibigan, kakwentuhan tuwing Sabado ng gabi. For more updates, please like our social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, na lahat po yan ay Rated J Official. At yung mga may katanungan po, pwede po kayong mag-email sa amin sa ratedjofficial@gmail.com. Ulitin ko po yung Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok natin, lahat po yan ay Rated J Official. At ang ating email address naman po ay ratedjofficial@gmail.com. Nako, yung mga kababayan po natin pala kaninang umaga, maraming salamat po sa mga sumubaybay ng LBC event kaninang umaga. At yung mga nanonood po ngayon, please share this video para mas marami pa rin po ang makasama natin ngayong gabi. Alam nyo ba, halos kalahati ng mga populasyon ng mga Pilipino sa Singapore ay mula sa migrant domestic worker na sektor. Pero alam nyo rin ba na may mga ilang ahensya na nagbibigay ng training at social support sa kanila? Kung sino ito, panoorin natin ito. Iniwan ng mga pamilya sa Pilipinas upang makapaghanap buhay ang ating mga kababayang overseas Filipino. Kabilang na dyan ang mga migrant domestic worker o MDW na piniling maging kasama sa bahay ng mga pamilya sa Singapore. Ngunit alam nyo ba na maaari rin sila magkaroon ng mga ganap dito sa Singapore? Kagaya ng pagkakaroon ng mga bagong kaalaman sa pagluluto, sa pagme-makeup at iba pang mga pampahealthy ng katawan, kabilang na ang Pilates, Piloxing, Yoga at Zumba. Hatid yan ng ilang organisasyon tulad ng FAST o Foreign Domestic Worker Association for Social Support and Training. At sa darating na November 26, 2023, gaganapin ang Migrant Domestic Worker and Employer Appreciation Day. Alamin natin ang mga magaganap sa nasabing event at kung ano ang mga tulong na hatid ng FAST sa ating episode na training at social support para sa MDW. Ngayong Sabado ng gabi, dito lamang sa Weekends with Rated J. At ikinararangal ko pong ipakilala ang ating mga bisita mula po sa FAST. Umpisahan natin kay Subash Pritmani. Ayan, siya po ang Vice President po ng FAST. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, June. How are you doing?
I'm great. Good evening to you. How are you?
Great. I'm wonderful. I've been very nice to see you again. Yeah, I'm
Very
very
nice to see you
excited to
again
be
as
joining
well.
your show first time. Yes, very
Yeah,
exciting.
welcome.
Exciting.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And we're also joined by Mr. Bernard Cheng. He is the Assistant Director for Special Duties of FAST. Good evening, Bernard.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for inviting us to be on this program.
Thank you very much for joining us. And I've seen last week Subash, and I hope to see you in person again, Bernard, hopefully soon.
Yes.
All right, let's
Yes,
start.
definitely.
Okay, let's start. I've actually I've actually heard about FAST. I think probably many years ago. First of all, how did the FAST start, and what were your objectives when you actually started the organization? And by the way, why FAST? Maybe we start with Subash. Wait,
Okay.
before I proceed, who has been with FAST for the longest time? Is it Subash or Bernard or?
The
I
Bernard
mean,
is in me.
who would probably know the history of FAST?
I think we both know the history, but Bernard has been for longer time than me. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Anyways, since the screen is with you right now, Subash, maybe you let us know how did it start? Why FAST in the first place?
Okay. June, thank you so much for inviting us and uh, updating you and meeting you again after Sunday, and where you saw our hub.
Yes.
Okay. Let me answer the first question. The fast started in 2005, which was basically promoted by Ministry of Manpower. Those days there were not too many. There was a lot of foreign domestic workers, and they had no avenues and ways to integrate with the society. And yeah, you see 2005. Yeah, that slide will help you here. 2005, it was formed as a society. Now, what was the objective? Objective was to integrate with our foreign domestic workers with the Singaporean society. Yeah. And this is how it started. And in those days, there were very rarely the people used to get weekly off or even monthly off,
Mhm.
So FAST became a sort of a link to create work-life balance between our foreign domestic workers and see how they cope up with their personal stresses and how they adjust being away from the home. That was the basic
Mhm.
idea of doing that. Bernard, you can come in if I miss out something. You can always add in. Yeah.
Sure.
So this is how it started, and since then we have a long journey. Now we are 2023. We're
Mhm.
talking about 18 years. We are teen. Almost we are late teens now, and
True.
the objectives have. So this was the first answer. Second question, what was the objective? I said work-life balance. And
Okay.
how it has changed, I think we'll develop it further, how we have changed and what we do. Yeah. Bernard, you
Okay,
would like to
Bernard.
add more?
Yeah, Bernard, why FAST, by the way?
Okay, FAST actually it's short for Foreign Domestic Workers Association for Social Support and Training. So
Okay.
FAST for short.
But
Yeah.
it really was that long or already. The name of FAST was has already been like that even before the start, or it was a
Yes,
different one.
it's from the start. It was this long, this mouthful called
Okay.
FAST. Yeah. So like Mr. Subash has rightly pointed out, our first objective is to provide a work-life balance platform for the migrant domestic worker. So we manage a clubhouse. So the clubhouse has four main broad categories of activities, which abbreviate into AIMS, aims. A for arts, I for interest group, M for mental wellness or mental well-being, and S of course sports. So with arts, we do things like soap making, portrait painting, etc., etc. Uh, I interest group, we have interest group like photography interest group, cycling interest group, crochet interest group. Mental wellness, we do workshops like how to de-stress, or any soft skills workshop for the MDW to help them to better assimilate, like what Mr. Subhash has earlier pointed out, to better assimilate into the Singapore society, so they can quickly adapt to our way of life. Sports wise, we do in your teaser mentioned, we do Pilates, yoga, play boxing, badminton, basketball, volleyball court, and things like that. So this makes up of our clubhouse. The other objective that we want to achieve is to provide a safety net for this migrant domestic workers. So we have a social support service arm that provides counseling service on a one-on-one basis and is strictly confidential. Next, we have a mediation. So we mediate between migrant domestic worker and their employer, or the employer and the employment agency, or sometimes three parties.
Let me just cut you there, Bernard, because later on we will discuss the details of all of this later on. But I understand that you guys are working as volunteers for this organization. Am I correct?
Okay. We are June. Let me explain you how we work. We are organization work volunteers, and we have the staff as well, because it's a very huge setup, which you've seen it. We have a huge hub, so we need to, and we want to have a perfect service to our migrant domestic workers. So we have, like, I'm a volunteer, so I'm a vice president and a volunteer. So I work, and to give you a little background, I was CEO of regional CEO of one of the Tata company. Tata is a very large conglomerate. So one of their companies in the construction field, where almost 5,000 people used to work for me in different countries. It was Hong Kong, Singapore, Dubai, Saudi Arabia. So that's the background. So the time came, so I should give back to society, give back to community, because a lot of foreign domestic workers, a lot of migrant workers worked with me. So this is the first time I'm working with the foreign domestic workers. So I understand how migrant workers behave and how it happens. So that's the background part. Now I'm a full-time volunteer. Full-time means whatever time I can spend, because I work for 2-3 organizations. I'm director with the Rotary as well. You know the Rotary.
Yep.
Yeah. And like Bernard is the executive of the organization. So we need a lot of executives. We have the MD, or sort of the head, and then we are not a too huge staff. We have 10 staff, and we have a staff of different nationalities. So that as you would know, there are 3 or 4 majority nations where from the foreign domestic workers come. So we have Filipino speaking, we have Myanmar speaking, we have volunteers, and we have Indonesian, we have Sri Lankan. So all the mix of it. So our objective is, when a foreign domestic worker comes to our hub, she is welcome and well received. I make it this as a motto. Why? Many of these girls are not treated as brilliantly as one would like to. They are already sometimes loaded with the emotion and fear and things like that. So our all staff is very, very empathetic. And when these girls come, we treat them, you have come to your home. So that's the whole idea. That's where we have all nationalities, and it's a very fun and very casual atmosphere. You must have seen that. So the So that's the whole idea. So answer yes, we have volunteers plus this thing, and we have foreign domestic workers also volunteers. We have a whole group of volunteers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why migrant domestic workers, by the way? What is so
Oh,
special about this?
very good. Very good question, June. Very good question. Okay. Now, what happens? Migrant domestic worker is one of the worker who lives 24/7 with the employer.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, the many rules of the labor laws and all those things don't apply to them in that sense, like But you see the manual work. Like I was in charge of. I did a construction work big time. So there are a lot of safety systems, the safety officers, safety these things. So we felt
Right.
in Singapore we have approximately 250,000 migrant domestic workers. That's a huge number. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is very unorganized sector. Migrant workers is a quite organized sector, there's a huge number. So why? So we felt this is the most unheard or unrepresented uh, part of
Sector.
society, and that's why we should get it. That's the reason it is promoted by MOM. Remember,
Yeah, I
so
wanted to
that's
ask, how are you guys related to MOM? I wanted to see
okay.
how's the
So
connection.
because MOM felt, as for the migrant workers, a lot of people take care of them. The timing, the working hours, and all. MOM felt because anybody comes in Singapore, it is a guest of Singapore. And if we don't treat them well, it brings the reputation of Singapore down. So we as a Singaporean feel great pride in bringing the people here and then taking care of them and see that within the realm of laws we are taking care of. So MOM supported us. So we are sort of and we are not only supported by MOM. There are a lot of partners, a lot of donation people give, a lot of volunteers like us, very very senior people work and support us. So MOM wanted to create a organization which has helped. So we are very grateful to MOM, and the MOM supports us big time. They don't own us, but they support us big time for a good cause.
Okay. Bernard, how many members do you have right now?
Um, we have probably close to about 2,000 plus, close to 3,000 members.
Okay.
And we are trying to expand that with very aggressive recruitment drive. In fact, this couple of months, we're having a promotion of $18 membership fees for the whole
Mhm.
year. The usual price is $36.
Wow,
So
that's
we have
50%
reduced that
off.
50% off. And many of the activities that I've just mentioned just now, it's free with the membership. Of course, even those with paid activities like our karaoke
Mhm.
are at a very nominal fees of like $6 an hour for if you want to book the karaoke room, for instance.
Wow.
Yeah, as
Okay.
compared to market rate outside, it's $10 an hour, while
Mm.
us is $6. And even the entertainment lounge is at $10 an hour. No, not $10. 15 $12 an hour. So and it accommodates up to 50 people. So imagine the savings that you get when you join us as a member.
That's roughly about $1.50 per month
Correct,
to become
correct,
a
correct.
member.
And again, June, I should say that this is a promotion. If you can put a slide on that on the promotion rate, if you can put it on that, uh,
Yep. I'm
that
trying to
is
look for
one.
that promotion for that promotion.
Okay, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
It's a $1.5 per month, which is, I think, not even a cup of tea at many places. And a coffee the Starbucks coffee will be more expensive, or even a Copio will be more expensive. And
Right.
more than it welcomes when the girls come there I call them girls, they are my daughters or sisters or whatever you call them. I'm 67 years old, so I have liberty to call them my daughters or sisters. My daughter itself is 33 years old. So what I'm trying to say, this is a very welcoming place. You must have noticed yourself, June, when you came. very
Yep.
welcoming place, and very kind place. That's the place, and you find from all of, and it's a very big area. So we have found the many people come there, and you'll be surprised. We have membership. What Bernard mentioned, that's one thing. We have almost more than 35,000 followers on Facebook, and we have
Mm-hmm.
thousands and thousands followers on Instagram. Or these are the girls are in regular touch with us. In addition to our members, we have a volunteer group also, big volunteer group. They come there and every week they help and support and involve various events. Yeah.
Okay, maybe let's start first with the training because you guys are talking about what are the things that FAST does. Let's start with training. What are the trainings that you guys provide? Maybe Subhash
Okay.
can start to answer that.
Okay. Okay. Now, I think we talk. I say we have three main mantras of fast, three main commandments, if you call it, for us to follow. One means work-life balance, which Bernard explained very clearly what we're talking about. Second thing we talk about, the if there are disputes or disagreements between the employer and the foreign domestic workers, she need not to go to a very complicated legal route, you know. And so what happens? Many of these cases are referred to us by MOM also. And what we do, we have a pro bono mediators. They don't charge us any money. They are volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
They and as June, you would know that any differences between relationships are because of lack of communication, or lack or starting because of misunderstanding. So what we do, we make employer and the employee sit in a very cozy, friendly surroundings and make a mediator or the pro bono mediator to talk to them and sort it out. And you'll be surprised, we have 90 to 95% success rate. The people who come there sit down with us and they find so helpful, and they become great friends when they go out. And all this is free, no money. We don't call any, and you need not to be a member of us. You need not to be anything. And all these disputes can be, and we have 24/7 hotline. You can
Mm-hmm.
make we have a hotline. You can make a call to us any time of the night in any language. So
Mm.
we have translators and has happened. So imagine you don't go to legal route. You sit in a friendly surrounding. You don't pay any money. You need not to be a member of FAST, and it goes all 95% success rate. I don't think there can be anything better than that. As you
Right.
would agree with
Okay.
me. Okay,
Can
this is
you
one
share
part.
us? Yeah.
So
Sorry.
now the third part. So we spoke about work-life balance. We talk about the this thing, training. Training is very dear to our heart.
Mhm.
Now, before you ask why this name is fast is put, why this name such a big name fast?
Such a long
Because
name.
our a very long name, it runs a kilometer, it runs a kilometer.
Yes.
So why? Because in that name we wanted to cover our main objective of fast. So what you say, foreign domestic workers, so it defines very clearly who we are talking about. Yeah? Uh, Social support and training. Foreign Domestic Association for Social Support and Training. So social support is like, work-life balance. Social support is handling their issues among them. Then the
Mhm.
training. So what is the training? Okay. Uh, when we do the training, we feel these all girls who have come, they have, yeah, this training has, okay, we have two tiers of training. One training is elderly caregiving training. Okay. Now, what is elderly caregiving training? So we are tier one and tier two. We have two kinds of training. Tier one is more related to the medical field. You know, there's a the we have the elderly caregiving course, that is our hallmark course. And that course, why we are doing it? Two reasons. By 2030 in Singapore, we will have 25% of Singaporeans will be of the age 65 and above.
Mm.
Singaporeans, when I say Singaporeans and PR, so our population is approximately 5.8 million, 5.9 million. Singaporean PR, which are citizens and this, is about 4 million. 25% of that by 2030 will be age 65 and above. You're seeing 1 million people. And life expectancy in Singapore is about 85, 86 years. Now, the age gap from 65 to 80, 85, you will find a lot of people at the later part of the age will require some assistance. They may not require nursing, but they will need
Mm.
quite some support. Like the man, the employer cannot go to can't walk to the toilet, or
Mm.
he cannot eat himself, or he forgets his taking medicine, or he forgets how to do these sundry things we cover in elderly caregiving training course.
Mm.
And this makes it's not a full-time job for a helper, so she keeps doing whatever she's doing the whole day work, and
Mm.
then she's trained to take care of elderly. So
Mm.
this training course has become very, very popular.
Mm.
And in this course, June, I should add, which I think your all listeners would appreciate. Now, most of the girls who have come as a migrant domestic workers, they are not education level is compromised because of their personal difficulties or financial situation way back,
Financially, yes.
or opportunity and all the. They are all
Mm.
smart girls. They are very,
I
very
agree.
smart girls. I had dealt with them. I deal with these girls every time, and I find them what they lack is the confidence,
Mm.
and because they have not seen it, they are very smart, very intelligent, very caring, and very forgiving. Now, so
Mm.
these are the things that are required in any elderly caregiver. So
Mm.
what we do, we train them and we give them a certificate. The certificate is signed by president of FAST or sometimes signed by me because I'm the chairman for training and development,
Mm.
and the training provider. And who are the training providers? Those are the training providers accredited in Singapore. And where the training is done at FAST Hub.
Mhm.
So where you visited, that is where the training is done. And the last, most important thing, all these certificates are signed by third signature is of the ambassador of the country. So we
Mhm.
have Filipino ambassador will sign it on the certificate. So we get a certificate. This girl gets a certificate signed by ambassador of
Right,
Philippines, signed by me
right.
or the president, and signed by training, all on a fast letterhead. Now,
Wow.
so this is sort of we call that a certificate. We cannot call officially as a diploma, because this is a certificate.
Yeah, it's
Diplomas
a
are given by
certificate.
the institute. Although people
Right.
use this word very loosely, diploma, degree, and
Mm.
which is not,
Right,
this is not correct. So,
right.
and this certificate we distribute, and another very, very important, we don't give certificate to them just like this. We give them the certificate in a graduation ceremony.
Wow.
In that
So this is the one
ceremony,
with the toga or something? This is with the
yeah,
toga.
the girls wear the square hat,
Okay.
and we give them a scroll, and they come
Okay.
with the employers many times,
Wow.
and sometimes, and many times I cry when I see them so happy. My eyes, I have tear of joys in my eyes, and
Mhm.
so does the our girls. Okay, so this is what is the training. Now I discussed about tier one training. Any questions on this, June? Would you like to ask
Yeah,
me?
no, maybe I'll ask Bernard, what about the other trainings? Maybe Bernard, can you share the other trainings that you have
Yeah.
in FAST?
Okay, so on the clubhouse side, we do have culinary trainings, cooking classes, that we offer to the migrant domestic workers who are um, who finds that they are still lacking in the cooking or culinary skills. That's the other part. And for those trainings that Mr. Subhash has mentioned, it's also heavily subsidized. In fact, we subsidize between 10 to 40% of the total cost fees.
Mhm.
We even have a scholarship that was sponsored by Sing Xiong. Sing Xiong has generously donated 50,000 over a 3-year period for us to give out scholarship to well-deserving MDW students in this caregiving courses that Mr. Subhash has mentioned. Probably Mr. Subhash, you want to talk a little bit about the scholarship?
Okay. Now, June, thank you, Bernard. Now, see, before we talk about scholarship, let me tell you the training cost. What
Yeah,
training we
how
do
much is
elderly
that?
care. Okay.
Yeah,
This
can you share us
elderly,
how much is that?
I'll tell you, the elderly training course, which is full comprehensive. There are two courses. One course is in part one and part two. Part one course is about less than $400, $380, $350. Part
Mhm.
one, and then you can do another part two that makes another $350. So around 700 to 750 you can do in two parts. But if you want to do one comprehensive course instead of being two parts, it will cost you $700. Now, hold it now here. The same course outside, the people who are running business of training,
Mhm.
and their certificates are not signed by ambassador, the certificates are signed by their own commercial institutions. We are not a commercial organization, we are NGO, we are IPC. Our certificates are signed by ambassador, and the price $700. The
Mhm.
courses with outsiders going, equivalent courses could be $2,500. $2,500 amount in the life of our girls is a huge money. It's a mind-boggling sum. Now question comes, and again in $700, what we do the course, up to 40% in this particular course is subsidized. So out of
Okay.
$700, 280
Is
is
paid by
paid by FAST to the training provider.
okay.
So only $420 is paid by the candidate. Now, same candidate, if it goes outside, will be paying $2,500. Now,
Mhm.
I must add here one. We have a very, very generous employers. They
Right.
pay in many cases instead of $420, they pay more than 60% to the girl. Okay, you go, I'll subsidize it. So
Correct.
fast subsidizes $280. Others is either girl pays it or subsidized by her partner. Now,
Mhm.
let me come back to. Meanwhile, what we do, we go to the corporate people and ask them to have some courses free of cost. The
Mhm.
Shenzhong has been very kind to us. They have they have subsidized the courses, so we pay $700, which is means equivalent to $2,500 from outside, free.
Mhm.
So we are giving these girls, but because there's a huge demand, people participating in this scholarship, so we have a complete governance. I chair that committee. So I was telling you that day when you came, we were interviewing a lot of girls who are
Yeah.
more need, who are really want to do it. So we interview them. So Xinjiang, we are grateful to Shenzhen, yeah, and they have given us huge $50,000 to give scholarship for 3 years. This year, we are giving a scholarship to 38 girls. That process is more or less over. Yeah. For
So
this
how's the
year.
process? So how's the process of the scholarship? How
Okay.
can I be a
Uh,
scholar, for example? If I'm a migrant domestic worker and I want to have that scholarship, how do I
okay.
get that scholarship?
Okay. Very good question. We publish it everywhere in the Instagram, Facebook, in our website. The scholarship event is on. Then the girls apply for this scholarship, and then because we had a huge number of scholarship, huge number of participants, and we want to be very fair, so it is disseminated through our websites, all our social media. And if I request you, June, you also through your network disseminate this information, that'll be helpful. Now,
Yep,
although
we will
this
do
year
that.
this year is over, but
Mhm.
again, but that can come next year, again will be coming. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So then we
So,
see
so
which is
you
more needy. Go ahead.
so what are the, let's say, criteria if I were to become a scholar? Is there like do you have to show your financial capabilities, or
No,
do you have to show
no.
them that you have a high scores? How is the process?
Okay,
What's the
good question.
criteria?
Okay, we committee has decided certain criteria. First of all, you should have worked at least more than 1 year in the country, and your visa should
Okay.
be valid for at least one more year. That's one.
Okay.
And your employer should allow you to come for the course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it should not happen that we give a scholarship and you are not able to attend the class. So we take employer also to be part of it, because there's a family issue, no? When the girl gets trained, employer also get benefited. That is one. And then we do the aptitude in the interview. We see the aptitude of a girl, whether she will be able to take that course, she'll be able to do it. That's why, and then these are the basic criteria. Otherwise, not. What religion you belong doesn't matter to us. What age is yours doesn't matter to us, you know. And uh, but we want to see, are you really genuinely interested in doing this? And then using that elderly care course, then going for that kind of a job, doing that job.
So
It should not happen you
so
do the course and then sit down.
so you, for example, if you're Filipinos, if you have Myanmar, Indonesians, how do you distribute that?
Okay.
Because is it
Now,
equally distributed, or
no, we don't we go on a mostly on merit. We mostly
okay,
go on merit. You know,
okay,
we cannot because this is what mandate we have. Mandate. You see now, but you see majority of majority of scholarships are going to Filipinos and Indonesians because
hmm,
their number is high. You see, the number
okay,
of Filipinos in Myanmar per se of 250,000 are the high, followed by the
yeah,
Myanmar. And again, the English level is also important, level of English,
okay,
because
yeah.
these
So
courses are done in English. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so
Go ahead.
how many scholars do you have for this year then? I mean, is it
38.
for the next school year, or
This we will have this year. We are in midst of shortlisting,
okay,
finalizing rather. We have
okay,
38 scholarship, but if we don't find 38 a good scholarship, then we may end up at 25. You know,
okay,
because it is, as I said, it's a merit. First, you meet the criteria, and whether after doing the course, would you be doing this or not? After doing the elderly caregiver course, you
mm,
have secured one certificate, but still you are doing something which is not good. So we try to judge it. After this course, you should be in that field.
right.
Otherwise, why you are taking the seat of somebody else? Yeah.
Okay, Bernard, maybe I ask you, for Filipinos, what would be the advantage after completing these trainings? Is it something that they could use, for example, if they work in, let's say, in a better work, or are they able to use that? Let's say they move to another country. What's gonna be the benefit that the Filipinos, or probably all those who attend the trainings?
Okay, as mentioned earlier on that the certificates issued by FAST, it's endorsed by not only from FAST, our training provider, but also the different countries, ambassadors or high commission. So it becomes a recognized certificate. So if for instance, MDW chooses to specialize in caregiving, because caregiving is a very niche area in Singapore,
Mm-hmm.
they could move on from doing normal household chore duties of a migrant domestic worker to move on to a specialized caregiver. domestic helper, for instance, to fully take care of elderly in Singapore, for instance, or if they decide not to become a domestic worker, for instance, they could actually resign from their work as a migrant domestic worker and reapply, but back home in their country as allied nursing professionals, like nursing aides, for instance, in our senior citizen home. So that there are different avenues open up to them with this certificate. And with this, with like I mentioned, with the various embassies recognition of that certificate, it is also something of value to them.
So, for example, if they want to stay in Singapore, is this like, do you have stories of like migrant domestic workers who have increased in their salaries because of these trainings? Were there cases
Yes,
like that?
yes, that is definitely on an average. If a migrant domestic worker who chooses to specialize in caregiving, they could see their income increase from an average of 300 to even as high as $500 to $600, for instance. So there are instances of migrant domestic worker who can command about 1,000 to 1,200, for instance, just for taking care of senior citizen after getting that specialist certificate.
I see. Okay. So Bernard, again, if I have read in my research that you also provide onboarding trainings for new migrant
Yes.
domestic workers, what is it all about, and how will this help our migrant domestic workers?
Okay, basically, the onboarding and integration program is an orientation course, or put it in a layman term, it's a survival course for them. What it does is actually to like I mentioned earlier, to assimilate them, uh, to get them up to speed with the very fast pace of Singapore life. So in this program, there are two parts to it. In the first part, we actually do um, teach them soft skills like communication, how to manage your employer's expectation, so on and so forth. And then the second part of the program, which is second day, it's more of a field trip. So we bring them trips on to take the various public transport, like the MRTs, the buses, for example, because from some of them may have come from some far-flung area who have never taken um, MRT in their life. So we want to familiarize themselves with such transport, because a lot of times they either bring their employer's family member, like children, for tuition, or some social activities, and so they need to familiarize themselves with taking the various public transport in Singapore. That's one. The other part is also bringing them to the various market. So because Singapore has different kinds of market, we have wet market, we have dry market, we have supermarket, we have hypermarket, and grocery store as well. So so we want them to familiarize themselves with this different market and what kind of goods can you get from each and every of this different market. Because you can only get fresh produce from a wet market, but if you want to get frozen food, and this kind of thing, you have to go to a supermarket, which you can't find it in a normal wet market or even dry market for that matter.
So do you also familiarize them with the basic Singlish? Is that part of the
Okay.
Yeah.
Bernard, let me answer this. Now,
Sure.
the what happens, June? Um the many migrant workers are not very good at English. I'm Filipinos are very good. I find they're very
Yeah,
good.
but our English is different from your Singlish. I mean, there are words that are probably not
You're
that
more
is really not
Americanized
your.
English. So what we
Yes.
do? No, we don't have a course as a Singlish, but it's taught by Singaporeans, so you can say it is a Singlish. You can
Okay.
call that. So we have a free. We don't charge any fees for that. Free English. This is the tier 2 course for us, where the girls can, but they have to be member of all these courses which are happening. You have to be a member of the FAST. Okay,
Even the
and
onboarding, it has to be a member. She has to be a
for
member.
onboarding, there's a different area at this moment. Yeah, but like elderly caregiving course and
Okay.
English course, you have to be member. And what happens in this course? There are 5 weeks course, and we teach them, and brilliant English. They speak quite a good of English. Now, other than English, we have one more very important course, which I find, which is applicable for our Filipinos, Indonesian, Myanmar, how to handle your own money. You must have noticed our
Yeah.
girls come, they come with the target of working for 2 years and they'll end up working here for 20 years. And still either they don't have enough saving. Now what happens? The dynamics of their way back home is in such a manner they're never able to save. So what we do, we have specialist trainers, qualified professional who work pro bono for us, train these girls how to handle their own money.
Financial
Finance,
financial. Yeah.
financial, how very simple. It's in a simple layman's language. Like for example, when you come out, you're so emotionally attached to your cousins who you never met in your country, maybe 3 years. Now he or she gives you a call. Oh, my son is trying to get admission in the school. I don't have money. All of a sudden, you send a big money check to them. Whether it's right or not, you do not know. So that's why we try to give proper training to these girls so they are in charge of their own money. That's one. And they don't fritter away their money on various small things. And third thing, when you do elderly caregiving course, if you have come to Singapore with the target of working for 2 years or 4 years, the target becomes shorter because you will make more money. An employer is ready to pay you more money. And when you go back home, as you can be allied medical worker, you can work in the hospital as an assistant to a nurse. And and suppose you left your children or husband or somebody way back home, you can still earn a decent living in your own country. And you had asked one more question: what happens to other countries? We have examples. Many girls who did a course from us, they have gone to the Western world, applied for the jobs, and they have been recognized because they have a certificate from Singapore. They have got jobs in thousands of dollars, you know, and but these are anecdotal evidences. We don't encourage that, but the employer and employee has to decide their own course of action. But we do expect once you do a course, there's no bond, there's no commitment. You will be working for some time in Singapore, so because government has supported you. Although there's no obligation per, we feel this a little morally, you should be working here for a couple of years. Yeah.
Yep. I believe that you guys are also aware that there are cases of money related what do you
Fishing,
call this? Yeah, phishing
scam,
and also those
scam.
scam. Yeah. How is this integrated in your financial literacy course
Okay, okay. Bernard, we want to answer this. Bernard, you answer this one.
Yeah. So so part of the program, we also teach them the different scams that is in trend currently. Like what you mentioned, phishing, the love relationship scam, the
Yes.
money mule scam, and they are the different category. Even as we talk now, there are different scams evolving by the time. So we integrate that part into that program as well. The other thing that we also want to educate the MDW, it's also about money lending, which has become quite a serious problem in Singapore, where they
Yeah.
borrow money from unlicensed money lenders, or in Singapore
Correct.
colloquial term known as along, loan
Along,
sharks.
yes.
Yeah. So it has become a social problem, and that problem not only affects the migrant domestic worker themselves, but it also affects their employer, because a lot of times, they leave down their addresses of where they are being employed to the loan sharks, and when their payment date comes up, the employer will be the next victim when this loan
Because
shark
they will be
comes in.
surprised that they will have some paintings in front of their house.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So that kind of thing. So we want them through this financial literacy course, we want them to know how to manage their finances well, because a lot of them tend to remit a majority part of their money back home, which leaves little for them to use as expenses. Yeah, even though they might have worked Monday to Saturday, but on Sunday they would need to go out, to enjoy themselves on their off day, and this requires money. But many a times when they send the bulk of their money home, they left with little for themselves, and then and all these problems started with them borrowing from their peers, for instance. And then it slowly evolved into borrowing from licensed money lender. But licensed money lenders has a quantum for it. There's only so much you can borrow, regulated by the Singapore laws. So in the end, when that avenue also being used up, they would the next one would be underground, which is the loan sharks. So they created many such problems. So we want to educate them on how to really manage their finances well. And on top of that, we also part or an offshore of that course would probably be entrepreneurship. We also teach them how to set up a simple business. Should they choose to, quit to being a migrant domestic worker and want to do simple business back home, for instance, when they have finished their contract here. So we teach them to read simple business report, simple profit and loss, or even do marketing, how to use the various channels like social media, or even flyers, traditional marketing techniques, and things like that, so that their life would be better and improve, and which is a little more, again, aligned with what we want to achieve for the migrant domestic worker. That is to improve their well-being and well-being.
So if let's say for example, if I'm a migrant domestic worker and I was a victim of loan sharks, or can I run too fast, or what should be the best way to handle that? Should I go to the police, or is fast able to mediate? Because we were talking right now about social support. How do you guys support when it comes to loan sharks or unlicensed money lending?
Of course, the most effective way is still going to the authority, which is the police, to report such matter. And if they do need like certain counseling or certain help or certain assistance, they could always approach us. In fact, we could arrange for some counseling session for them with our counselors, or to look into their financial resources, and probably structure a payment system for them so that they can make the payment through with the loan shark. If it's a licensed money lender, it will be more easier. We could probably have a chat session with the licensed money lender on how to restructure the whole payment term for this migrant domestic worker, which we have done before. Like unlicensed money lenders, it's a bit tricky in that sense. But however, it can be done with the correct way.
Okay, we were talking about some social support. What are the other social support programs that you have? Or do you have any like a real story that you're able to help our migrant domestic workers? Do you want to share about that?
Okay. We have various service, and one of the service that we provide, as Mr. Subhash has earlier mentioned, it's our hotline, which is manned 24 hours, 24/7 for that matter. And we as far as possible, we'll try to have the different translator to cater to the different nationalities of migrant domestic workers. And fast, on an average, we have about 200 calls. And some of the inquiries are mostly related to employment issues, like their off days, their salaries, or home leave, or even their living conditions with their employer accommodation, for instance, or even personal issues, like many of them leave their family behind. And some of them don't get to see or hear from their family for years, for instance. So sometimes it can be an issue, and there are migrant domestic workers who get depressed over it. So our counseling service comes in handy here, which they give uh, very pertinent advice to them on how to handle their emotions.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Okay, so what's your helpline number? If because I wanted to actually share with them what's the number.
okay, so our helpline number is 1-800
One eight hundred
339
three three nine
4357.
4357. Let me just repeat that. Let me just show that up. So fast 24/7 helpline. That's 1-800-339-4357. Am I correct? All right.
Yes.
So please screenshot that, so at least if in case if you need any help, you can call directly that number. That's 1-800-339-4357. All right. Okay. Um Subash, we were talking about the MDW and Employer Appreciation Day when I came over there. Do you want to share about that? And by the way, how did you guys conceptualize about this? And how long is this program of fast right now?
Okay, I think how long, Bernard? How 10 years, 4 5 years, or 10 years?
Um, it started in 2013, and it was then
Okay,
called the Foreign Domestic Worker Appreciation Day. But however, it has evolved into become, because of the terminology changed by MOM.
Mhm,
Foreign domestic worker has become migrant domestic worker, and
mhm,
in 2021 we started our inaugural migrant domestic worker and employer appreciation day.
mhm. Okay,
okay.
so
So, sorry, June. So, how we do that? Now, there are many bad stories. The employer-employee not getting along well, but
mhm,
there are many good stories. So, what we did, I again the chair that, and we have external judges for that. So, the employer and an employee, they are in such a good relationship. It is a pair wins. It's the pair wins. So employee and employer both, we shortlist. We have hundreds of applications. We
mhm.
shortlist it, and it is open again. The same media, we use the our Instagram and YouTube and
Facebook.
all those things, Facebook, everywhere. And the people apply online, and we have 4 questions. Empathy, passion, responsibility, and how you care. So employer and employee both talk about how they each other do these things for each other. So
Mhm,
you'll be surprised, June. We have I have then once we shortlist 20 candidates out of big list, then we have 8 other top, 10 are consolation, and the 8 top we visit their home. So we meet the employer and the helper
mm.
together, and we interview them on a camera.
Okay.
Interview them on a camera, and then the one who wins who the winner gets $2,000 cash.
Wow. How many winners do
First,
you have?
yeah, okay. We have like eight are the winners who get the cash awards.
Which
10
is
are
10,
the
which is 2,000 each.
no. First is 2,000. Then we have
Okay.
700. We have 500. So like this, we have different
Okay.
this thing. So it's a big money. It's almost
Yes,
about
it's
ten
a
to
very
eleven
big
thousand
money.
dollars we pay cash money. Yeah, and in addition to that, what happens? We have a lot of they get a lot of recognition. The girls get recognition, the employers get recognition, and in the future, they are so happy they want to train them for a elderly caregiving course free of
Mhm.
cost, and they earn so much money also. And I feel very happy when we give these and we have a lot of donors who appreciate that and they sponsor these prices. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This
So,
is
your event for this year is happening on the 26th of November, 2023 at 11:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon. This will
correct.
be at your Fast Hub, right?
It will be
What
at
are the activities? What are the activities on that day? I remember, by the way, that in 2019 I actually did a coverage for this for TFC News. It's the same activity, right, Subash?
Okay.
That's
There
when
are many activities. This time we have a different activities.
okay.
We have again uh, fast got a talent competition.
Mm-hmm.
So we have so many girls have done various. We have three major categories: solo singing, group dance, and the skits. So we had all these things. So many girls applied. They came with their own groups, costumes, and they did it. And now we have shortlisted the final ones. So they will be performing. Top three will be performing on the night in the that day. Not night means on that event. They'll be performing in front of Minister of State is coming. They will be performing.
Mm-hmm.
And the same day we will have the employee appreciation day. We will be giving the awards to them. We will be
Okay.
giving scholarships to the girls, and we will have sort of a the complete in the open area. We'll have a lot of stalls. The fun fair will be there. The girls can come, and again we will have free food there. Bento boxes will be there. Lunch will be free. You know,
Wow.
so you just come. You need not to buy food there, and that so many door gifts, the kind prices. It'll be real fun activity, and you need not to be a member of FAST to come there.
That's nice to hear. So yung mga
You don't
kababayan
have
po
to be.
natin na nanonood, let me just talk in Filipino. So yung
Yeah.
mga kababayan po natin na nanonood ngayon, kung kayo po ay isang migrant domestic worker, pumunta po kayo sa Fast Hub sa 26 November para po magkaroon ng libreng pagkain, para magkaroon ng mga activities. Merong mga artista na pupunta sa iba-ibang bansa at marami silang mga activities na gagawin po on the 26th of November sa Fast Hub. Where is the location of your Fast Hub again, Subash?
3 Ching Ching Road. Yeah.
3
Yeah.
Chin Ching
Bernard,
Road.
yeah, yeah,
What's the
yeah.
postal
Can
code?
you read the? Can you type this address?
Okay, let
Yeah,
me just type.
it's 3 Chin Cheng Avenue, CHINCHENG Avenue, as in AVENUE. The postal code is 429401. The nearest MRT,
429401.
yes, the nearest MRT is Eunos MRT, and we are just before Teluk Kurau.
Okay. Am I correct? This is 3 Chin Cheng Avenue. Sorry, Chin Cheng.
CHIN.
Okay, let me just remove that. Okay. That's 3 Chin Cheng Avenue, Singapore 429401.
Yes.
That's correct. Right. Okay. So please screenshot now, guys, and magkita-kita po tayo kasi pupunta po ako na magko-cover ng event nila sa 26th of November. Ipapakita ko ulit yung screen ng paano ko ba ilalagay ito. Ayan. Para makita
Yeah.
natin ito po yung kanilang uh, yan.
They can scan this thing, June. They can scan it. If you can make this scan portion larger, and that can take a picture, then they
Right.
can register. It'll be easier for them.
Right. What you can do, guys, is pumunta po kayo sa page. You can go to the Facebook page of FAST. That's FAST. At i-scan nyo lamang po yung QR code nilang yan para para makapag-register po kayo. Kung hindi pa po kayo members, they have to register for the event, right?
They should register. It'll be easier for them, then because there's so many people are coming. So we have a bento boxes till the supplies last. So if you are registered, you have better chances of you will be not disappointed,
Right.
because the
And
area, if 10,000 people come, then we may have to really restrict the entry of the people. If you're registered, you
right.
have opportunity. Yeah. You
Right.
can tell
And
them
of
in
course,
the,
there are prizes to be given. You have smartphones, tablets, what's it? Instamax, Instax. I can't read this. Instax Mini,
Text,
digital
yeah.
cameras, instant photo printers, speakers, power banks, at marami pa pong iba. So, you can get a chance to win all these prizes mula po sa Fast. Yan, ang dami. May smartphones, may tablets, yan. Meron pang mga power bank and everything else na nakikita nyo sa ating screen right now. Ayun. All right, guys. What are for other Filipinos, like for example, for professionals who wants to help? How can they help?
Okay. Bernard, you want to answer that?
Um, okay, in FAST, there are a few groups of volunteer. Like Mr. Subhash mentioned earlier, we have the migrant domestic workers who are volunteers who come and help out during their off day. The other group of volunteers that we have are the professional volunteers. So even in this professional volunteer group, we are also segmentize them into the different groups. So on the one group, it's more on their skill set. So we have professional counselors, mediators, translators. So that is segmentized according to their skill sets. The other group of volunteers that we have are the ad hoc volunteers. So like corporates, if they want to do their CSR activity, community service activities, they can come to FAST and volunteer with us. Or individually, if they have certain skill sets, like for instance, they want to teach the migrant domestic worker how to do origami folding, for instance, or flower arrangement. They can also come and volunteer with us as an voluntary instructor. So there are different avenues and opportunities for individuals or organizations to volunteer with FAST.
Right. Okay. We have a few questions here. Is the promotion for registered member? What's this? Is it the promotion for registered member is done? I sorry. I don't
Membership.
understand.
Okay.
I don't understand
Okay.
the question. But
Okay.
maybe you guys can
I think
understand.
what she's saying is the promotional rate for the membership of FAST is done. No, it is open up to 30th of November. You can become a member by paying just $18 per year. So you can scan the barcode, and the promotion is valid up to 30th of November.
Okay. So that's valid until 30th of November. Yung pong promotion nila na $18 po hanggang hanggang sa katapusan lamang po ng Nobyembre. Ayan. All right. Okay, let me just read some of the other comments from our viewers right now if you don't mind. Okay, we have some viewers here. Good evening, Sir June, at sa lahat ng staff. God bless po. Ang ganda ng topic. Oh, he said that our topic is really very good. That's what Rowena Romero
Thank
is
you.
saying.
Thank you.
Weng is watching from Singapore as well. Ayan, si Relin Honal, I cannot read this. Honelas. Ayan. Ayan. Milet Santos is watching us as well. Thank you very much, Milet, for organizing this. Evangeline Salas is also watching us. Sir, good evening sa inyong lahat. Sabi ni Lai Malasoge. Ayan. Wow, good evening everyone, says Evangeline Salas. Ayan. Wen Cruz is also watching us. Neng Susan or Oscares is also watching us. Sir, I have a question. Is it free for all MDW workers? It's not free. There is a I think Fast has I think Millet has answered this on the let me just see. Okay, so Millet answered here as there is a 50% promotion for all our Fast members from now until 30th of November. A membership fee of $18 per year. Usual price is $36 per year. Please sign up po online for this. By the way, this promotion is it applicable also for non-members as of now? Is it open for everyone, even for new members?
Oh, it is for new members or non-members, anybody. Any foreign domestic helper is open. Suppose you are a member and your membership is expiring after 6 months. You can renew your membership now by paying $18. So 6 months becomes 18 months for you.
Okay, all right. Okay, sige. Yeah, I think they were tagging their friends here. Proud volunteer here, sabi ni De Jesus Evangeline. Thank you, ate. Yan. Watching si Ida Bruera. I think ayun. I think they've asking they've answered the questions already. Let me just see first. Some those sure will visit next Sunday, sabi ni Sulung Tapun. I think there's one more. Okay, I think they're tagging some of their friends here. Ayan, that's Jackie Amores. They're tagging Anton and Ellen TV. I think she's also a friend of mine. Wait. This is a very good project. Thanks, sir, for your help to upgrade our MDW. According to Anton and Ellen's TV. I think they're also one of my friends here. Chi Maran, good evening. Sabi niya, Jelen Mabilangan is also watching us. Adikaru Niru is also watching us. Nice to see you guys. According to Wilma Padura. And Taj is also watching us. Hello, Taj. Thank you for
Hello, Taj.
watching us.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Happy birthday, by the way, to Amy or Ami. Happy birthday today. I think today is her birthday. Happy birthday, Amy. Is it Amy
Hi.
or Amy? Amy. I think it's Amy,
Amy.
right? Yeah. Happy birthday, Amy. All right.
Oh, it's
Okay.
Emmy's birthday. Happy birthday, Emmy.
Yes, it's her birthday. Yeah. All right. Final words, sir, for our kababayans.
Okay. Uh, First of all, thank you for giving us this opportunity. And I must say, all the girls, my sisters, my daughters, do come to Fast Hub. See for yourself. You like it, become a member. I promise you, you will make it will make big difference in your life. So don't hesitate. Take big advantage of 30th of November. Do come, attend the event on 26th. Very important. Meet your friends, upgrade your skill, and start learning more, start earning more, start helping community more. Welcome, and I'm sure, hallelujah, all will be doing well. And I think, unfortunately, our Millet Santos is our main girl for training and development. She helps me with a lot of things. She does a very, very wonderful job. I'm sure she can help you with all the matters related with the fast. And other Bernard is there. Bernard is looking after the whole hub, and Millet is very, very sweet because she had some commitment, so she couldn't join. I said no, I have committed to June. We will attend that. Thank you, Bernard, coming in place of Millet, and thank you, Millet, and have a good time and take care of all these our lovely girls and daughters and sisters. Yeah,
Yeah, thank
thank
you
you
very
so much.
much. Yeah, thank you very much. Um, Bernard, any last words for our kababayans or for our Filipino friends?
Yes, probably a shout out to Care Sisters. Care Sisters is a program initiated by the Ministry of Manpower, whereby we recruit migrant domestic workers, volunteers. We teach them the skills of psychological first aid, peer mediation, as well as suicide prevention. So what they do is that upon train of these three skill sets, they'll be deployed to the various their own communities, places like Lucky Plaza, Peninsula Plaza, Paya Lebar area, and Little India. So there are two objectives to achieve. The first objective is to spread MOM message. So things like their working rights, their living conditions, their mental wellness, and even anti-scam messaging. The second objective of this care sister is to look out for their fellow sisters who are in distress, or display signs of distress, or even who feels like nothing is going on for them. So they deliver. So this care sister can actually help to counsel them, and the advantages of this care sister is they are from the various nationalities. So if you've got language issue, they could even communicate with you. Um, like for instance, Filipino, they can communicate in Tagalog to you and counsel you and help and tell you where to get help if you do need help or assistance. So I want to give a shout out to these care sisters and ask for more volunteers to come forward and volunteer your service with us as a care sisters.
Yeah, shout out to Care Sisters. Be a volunteer for Care Sisters. Yung mga kababayan po natin na mga migrant domestic workers, please po, sumali na po kayo sa kanilang Care Sisters. Tama ba? Is it correct? Care Sisters, right?
Yes.
All right. And
And
please,
just another one thing for the
yes.
membership, I have another very important colleague called Tracy Ong. She is in charge of membership. She unfortunately couldn't join us today. So the girls can reach them, and if they're coming to Hub, let them look for Tracy Ong. She's very, very helpful. If you are not able to log in on the Facebook or the website, Come to the hub, see for yourself, then sign in there itself and collect your card also, membership card. You know, the membership card is
there's a
also
card.
very, yeah, we have, see, okay, if I can show you, this is kind of a membership card. I am also a member, so I have this card, you know. I don't know.
It's
You can
blurred.
see the card?
It's blurred, but never mind. It's okay. As long as there's a
Okay.
card. So the card has a photo of the person
No,
person,
not
right?
photo. It is a QR code and
Oh,
all
it's
that,
just
you know.
QR
So
code.
you can use the access to the facilities, you know. So otherwise, anybody non-member will get in. But to visit the hub, you don't have to be member. You just come in, you know. But selected facilities are only for members, and the courses are for members, you know.
All right. Make yourselves happy this Christmas by being a member of FAST. This is their address. That's 3 Chin Cheng Avenue, Singapore 429401. And of course, for those who need help, you can call them at 1-800-339-4357. Let me just repeat that. That's 1-800-339-4357. You can also inquire about how to become a member in that helpline. Correct? They could also join. They could also call that number, right? All right, with that, thank you very much, Subash and Bernard, for joining me tonight. Thank you very much. And please stay there because I'm going to just do my extra. Ayan. Sa ating mga kababayan dito sa Singapore, maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood mula po sa ating tahanan dito sa Singapore. Ako po muli, si Jun Rigunan, sa ngalan po ni Dr. Dazzalin Zapata Pinlac. Abangan nyo po muli kami sa mga susunod na Sabado sa pinakabago, pinakamakabuluhan at mga napapanahong impormasyon at talakayan. Ang tunay na public service na hatid namin po para sa inyo. Mula sa programang ginawa ng mga Overseas Filipino para sa kapwa Overseas Filipino, ito ang Weekends with Rated J. All right, thank you very much everyone and have a good night. Thank you for watching our show. Please do like and share this video and our other videos and subscribe to our social media platforms. Salamat ka, Rated J.